everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Claire and I put out videos about luxury bags and accessories. So if that is your thing, please click on the subscribe button, hit the notification bell and you'll know when I upload a new video. The video today is about a dupe for a luxury item. Now I mentioned this in my Q&A from a month or a couple of months ago. I did two videos, part 1 and part 2 Q&A session, and I was talking on that video about my obsession with luggage, and I do have an obsession with luggage, and there'll be some things I say in this video that you might think are a bit weird, but please remember I have an obsession. And in that video I was talking about the fact that I'd found a good dupe for the Rimowa aluminium cabin suitcase, and I said if anybody was interested in a video about that, let me know. And I did have a couple of people say yes, they'd like to see that, so I thought I would do this video and I would show you the dupe that I've got. But the thing is, I've actually got two dupes because I actually bought two suitcases, and I was planning to possibly return one and just pick one, but I like them both so much I couldn't make my mind up, so I kept them. That is point 1 to do with my obsession. I just couldn't decide, so I kept them both. Do I need them both? Probably not, but I justified it in my head that yeah, I've probably got different circumstances that I would use one or the other of these cases in. But anyway, I thought I'd show you both. So let me begin by explaining my kind of attitude towards luxury luggage. I have never invested in luxury luggage. I've never bought any kind of luxury suitcases from brands such as Rimowa or the high-end brands. I've never bought Louis Vuitton suitcase, Louis Vuitton key pulls, anything like that. I'm not saying I never will in the future. I do look at some of these pieces and I think they're absolutely beautiful. But for me, up until this point, I think I've never really been able to justify to myself the cost of such items, and I've preferred to put my money into other types of luxury items. I certainly buy luxury travel accessories. I have bought Louis Vuitton toiletry pouches, and I've obviously just bought the Fendace toiletry pouches in Meredith's vlog sale, which I'll link that video down below. So yes, so to date I've never bought any luxury luggage. But I do believe in still spending a little bit on your luggage to make sure you get kind of quality. But that at this lower end is quite subjective. So I, for example, have spent up to a couple of £100 on an item of luggage, and some people have said that they think, that is reasonable and that's, a good price to pay. Other friends of mine think that's an awful lot of money to pay for a piece of luggage. They still think that is too expensive. The dupes I'm going to show you today, which is sitting here next to me, are probably I don't know, towards the lower end cost wise. They're not, in my opinion, extremely expensive. As I said, maybe some people would see these as quite expensive for luggage, but in my opinion I don't think they are that expensive, and I will go through the cost with you. Now the Rimowa suitcase, if we actually go to the suitcase that these I think are a good dupe for, Rimowa does this aluminium cabin suitcase, and they do two versions, a cabin and a cabin S. The cabin S is slightly smaller, only in the depth. They are both the same height, they are both the same width, but the cabin S is slightly smaller depth wise. Now they are both considered, if you talk about imperial measurements, 20-inch suitcases. Metric, that's 50 centimetres. They do conform to the cabin measurements of many airlines, but every airline does seem to differ, so it's difficult to say yes, these will absolutely fit every cabin size for every airline. But they are fairly standard, and they do certainly fit for most airlines. One of them is 36 litre and one of them is 33 litre, so obviously the slightly smaller one is 33 litre. I don't know what literage mine are, but I can obviously compare sizes. Now, the price. This is the problem with the Rimowa suitcases. They are very expensive. They are definitely up there at the high-end, luxury end price. And the cabin, the slightly larger one, is £1,130. Obviously I'm here in the UK, so I'm using pounds. The cabin S is £1,080, so they are both over £1,000. And for me personally, I just would not contemplate paying over £1,000 for a piece of luggage. I can't justify that in my head. And obviously, there are lots of people out there who love these cases, love Rimowa, who would buy them, and are happy to pay that amount that's fine, that's entirely up to you. I'm just talking personally that over £1,000 for a piece of cabin luggage is just too much. One of the things Rimowa does, I believe, is offer this kind of lifetime guarantee in that you can keep taking your case back to them and they will repair it. So if it's damaged, I think if it's dented, they will get the dents out. If you lose a wheel, they will replace the wheel, all of that. That's brilliant. Obviously, that's great. My kind of view on that is, yes, what I've got here, I can't get them repaired or replaced if I have major damage to them, but for the price I could replace them 8 or 9 times before I'm up at the same price as what I've paid for the Rimowa suitcase. So again, in my head that kind of makes sense that, well, okay, if one of these gets terribly damaged in the future, you know, I'm still not paying anywhere near that amount for the Rimowa to replace one of these cases. So, you know, again, it's about what's important to you and how you can kind of justify it. But, you know, for those of you that are kind of on the same page as me and maybe wouldn't pay this sort of money for a Rimowa suitcase, but you really like the look of them, you like the aesthetic, you like the thought of them, and, you know, if money were no object, you maybe would buy it, then I think I've got a couple of quite decent dupes here to show you. Where did I get them from? Obviously, again, I'm here in the UK. One of them comes from Elm. Now, Elm is kind of like, I don't know what you've got in the US that might be similar. Perhaps the Home Depot, something like that. I think I've heard of, or Home Goods. I don't know. Elm is kind of like a homeware store. It's primarily for bed linen, bath linen. There's certain items of furniture you can get in there, ornaments, decoration, curtains, all that kind of thing. So it's basically a homeware store, but they do suitcases as well. I couldn't buy the Elm suitcases in store. I had to order them, so they were delivered. Now, the Elm one, I actually bought 2. I bought one for me and one for my husband. The other one, I just bought one. And that's one of my ridiculous justifications of keeping both of them, because the Elm one, I'm thinking, oh, me and my husband will use those together when we go somewhere together. The other one I'll just use on my own when I take a trip on my own. I sometimes go to visit family up north and that on my own. So yeah, that was kind of my justification. But also, we have a son, as I've spoke about before, and he occasionally will need a suitcase too, so the justification was, okay, I've got 2 of the same over here, one of these other ones, that's 3 suitcases, so that's another justification in my head. It makes sense to me and my obsession. Now, the Elm one, exactly the same suitcase, or what looks like the suitcase, is available on Amazon. It's a bit more expensive, and the price on Amazon does fluctuate, as you know, we know sometimes Amazon prices do. It comes with a couple of different accessories, but looking at it, it does seem to be exactly the same suitcase. I can't really see any difference. The one from Elm gets very, very good reviews. Its equivalent on Amazon gets a few mixed reviews. One guy said it's not waterproof, and the way he discovered that is he put it out in his back garden and he turned the garden hose on it for about 5 minutes. And when he opened it up, it had leaked and there was water inside. So make of that what you will. But when I got the suitcase and, you know, I saw all the reviews on Elm, which were all really positive, and the only negative review was somebody saying they wish it was available in a bigger size as well, because they would have liked to get it in 2 sizes. So yeah, I'm kind of discounting reviews like that where people have done things like that. All the other reviews seem quite positive. They do a bigger size on Amazon, and again, as I say, it looks identical. So although Elm don't seem to sell it in a bigger size, they do a 24-inch, looks exactly the same on Amazon. So all these ones I'm talking about, I will link down below so you can have a look at them. The other one is from Amazon, and it was from a company called Opal Living, and they do a bigger one as well. They do a 24-inch as well. So, you know, I'm not sitting here and saying I won't ever buy the 24-inch either. That is a distinct possibility. But for the minute, I've just bought the 20 inches, the 2 cabin suitcases. So let's turn the camera around and show you the actual cases. Now, I've never shown suitcases on my channel before, so I'm not quite sure the best way of doing it. But I've tried to set the camera up so you can see. This is the one from Elm, and it glides so smoothly. It really is a beautiful gliding suitcase. It's very square. Obviously it's aluminium, and the label is still on it. It was £119. So this is the one I bought two of, one for myself and one for my husband. Now, it's got the measurements on the label here, 57.5 times 39 times 23, and it's 4.35 kilograms. It is quite heavy. It's not a really lightweight suitcase, but I've actually found it quite difficult to find a really lightweight, really good quality suitcase. So, you know, I just finding that I'm having to go this sort of weight to get a good quality suitcase. The other one is slightly lighter. It's got this handle that is kind of spring loaded, so it sits down when you're not using it. It's got a handle on the side as well, over here. Again, that's spring loaded too. It's not a zip suitcase. It's got these, I don't know what you call them, that sort of fastening on them. They're TSA approved locks. Now the measurements, I don't know exactly what airlines they conform to. I think, looking at this wouldn't fit BA, British Airways, because British Airways is about 56 or 56 and a half height. However, I got my tape measure and I don't think this actually is 57 and a half. And I go from the floor with my tape measure, because BA is very insistent that your measurement must include the wheels and the handle. It's about 54 and a half, and then when you include the handle, that's about 1.5, so that would make it 56. So that would mean it would conform to British Airways. I think the depth and the width is okay. So yeah, it's I don't know, it might just be a centimetre in it. So yes, I'm thinking it hopefully would be okay for British Airways. I think it's too big for some of the budget airlines, but I'm thinking some of the bigger airlines, BA, Virgin, this probably will fit on. I know the other measurements, the 39 and the 23, are within what they say you can have as a cabin bag. So yeah, so that's the one from Dunelm. As I say, this one is on Amazon as well. On Amazon, it seems to range from about 130, 140 upwards to 200, but the price fluctuates. The Amazon one comes with a luggage label and a waterproof cover, obviously if you want to put a garden hose on it, but this one just comes as it is like that. So that's the one from Dunelm. This is the one I got first, and I did really like it, but then I saw this one and I also liked this, and when this one arrived I thought maybe I'll take the Dunelm one back, but I just like them both. I couldn't decide, and I decided to keep this one. This one is a little bit smaller. It is more lightweight as well. This one is about 3.9 kilos. It's just obviously a slightly different design on the front. The wheels glide quite nicely, not quite as smoothly as the Dunelm one, but in every other way it is very similar. Again, it's got a spring-loaded handle on the top. It's got a spring-loaded handle there, and it's got the same sort of fastening here at the side. So very, very similar. Now, it is the same height. Now, it's supposed to not be. On the website, it says that this is 50 centimetres, but actually when I measure it, it is about the same as the Dunelm. And in fact, if I bring the Dunelm back into shot and put them together, you can just about see that they are the same height. The difference is in the depth. The one here from Amazon Opal Living is definitely shallower than the Dunelm. This is 23 centimetres, this is 20 centimetres, so it's 3 centimetres less depth, but again they are the same width. So if I put them together, you should see they're about the same width, which is about 38, 39 width. I don't think I've got that in fully in shot, have I? So let's move that. Yeah, so you see they are very similar size. This one is just a touch smaller. It's supposed to be shorter, but it isn't. But again, I think this one will be, you know, quite comfortably fine for the larger airlines, their cabin baggage requirements. But price-wise, this one on Amazon, now, again, it fluctuated. It was about £210, I think, but I've got a feeling it went down to 190. So it does seem to kind of move around, and sometimes when there's a deal or an offer on, it goes on the offer. This one obviously does come with a luggage label as well, but yeah, so that one was a little bit more expensive. So let's get them up onto the bed one at a time and I can show you the inside. So this is the inside of the Elm suitcase. You've got here on the right hand side these kind of clips that clip over there, and this panel which has got one zippered pocket there for you to have a bit of organisation, and then that opens up to these crisscross luggage straps, and then you've got fully lined interior. The other side you've got a couple of pockets, so a little bit more organisation, a mesh pocket there, a non-mesh one there, another one here, and then you've got this obviously large compartment there on the left hand side. So fairly straightforward, but I did again like this because you can zip up that compartment completely, and you've got, say, these clips here that will allow you to put a cover over this compartment. I like suitcases that have got covers over both compartments. So the zips seem quite buttery smooth, as a friend of ours in Australia would say. And yeah, I'm quite, pleased with the interior. It's quite spacious. Looks like you can get quite a bit in there. The only thing with this one is this cover kind of does go part way down the case, and so I don't know how much give you sort of got when you've got stuff in there, if it will kind of push it up and you can actually use the whole kind of interior here. I don't know if that makes sense, but that would be my only concern with that particular side of the case. But yeah, and then obviously it closes and you've got your catches there that you can seal it up with. So that's the Elm one. So this one on the right hand side has got a flap here like that, and I think that is very similar to the Rimowa suitcase. I think the Rimowa has like a flap like this. Oh, and this one's got a rain cover as well. So again, if you want to turn the garden hose on it, you have a rain cover. So this one has these straps then that pull through, and you can put your bits and pieces in and then fasten it like that. It's got a mesh pocket here at the top there, and it's got a mesh pocket here at the bottom. Obviously you can velcro those straps together. This side the cover comes right up to the edge of the suitcase, so you can see how that's different from the other one. Maybe hopefully that kind of explains what I meant by the other one not coming quite up to the top, but this comes right up to the top. You've got a great big space there, and then you've got a couple of mesh pockets here, and kind of like a waterproofy mesh pocket there. Yeah, so that's that one. Looks a little bit smaller inside, but obviously it is, say, a slightly smaller case. It is definitely more lightweight, but again it has the same catches. I thought it would be useful to show you both suitcases on their respective websites. This is the Opal Living one on Amazon. It's currently £199.97. You can see it's got the medium 24-inch listed there as well. There's lots of pictures of this one. There's also a video. The measurements given, just remember the height is slightly inaccurate, but everything else about it, the description is accurate. I was really impressed with this one. I thought it was very, very good quality. It definitely is a great dupe for the Rimowa. It's got a very similar look and feel about it. The interior seems similar to the Rimowa as far as I'm aware. So yeah, I thought the quality of this one was really, really good, and it is a great dupe, I believe. Here's the Elm one. This is actually called the Detroit Silver Suitcase. That's its official name. Again, there's a few pictures and reviews on the Elm website. For the price, I thought this was equally great quality, and I was very impressed with it. And here is what I think looks like the same suitcase on Amazon. Different price at £199.99. Supposedly a different suitcase and different company, but it looks identical to the Elm one. I can't see any difference other than the Amazon one comes with a luggage label and a waterproof cover. Obviously on Amazon, as I said, there is the medium version available, but when I look at all these pictures, it does seem to be the same case, and it gets quite a lot of reviews, again, mainly positive. So for me, I think both these suitcases are quite good alternatives to the Rimowa aluminium suitcase. Much more affordable price, similar look to them, similar sort of layout, and yeah, I just think, you know, for the price, they are a really, really good alternative. Okay, so I hope that you found that useful. I will link everything that I've shown you down below in the description box. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate you watching, and I really appreciate you hitting that thumbs up. It means an awful lot to me. And so thank you for watching. And I really look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye.